Good morning. Market Day Report is on the air. We're about 15 minutes, not 30, 15 minutes away from opening up the trade. Already, USDA report, which came out at 8:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Central. It's the weekly export sales report. And it's the next report that we'll see comes out tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern. And that's a big one. That's the July World Ag Supply Demand Estimates, or WASDE report. We'll get that 12 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. All right, let's look at where markets traded in the overnight session. We'll start with the corn market, back in the red. Now, back in the red for the overnight session after moving higher yesterday. December at 413 3/4, down a penny 3/4. Look at that September overnight. It dropped below $4. So as we move from the corn to soybeans, soybeans have been under pressure as well. In the November at 10.05 1/2, down a penny 3/4. That again, notice that September it never got above $10. We need to keep an eye on those contracts falling below 10 on soybeans and below the $4 level on the corn. Now to the wheat, we'll hit Chicago first. September up 5 1/2, 552 1/2. For hard red, 8 cents higher, 532. September is the most active. And the cotton market, the December contract 67.76, down 2 points. All right, back to that weekly export sales report. Somebody who keeps an eye on it, President, Midwest Market Solutions, Brian Hoobs. Good morning, Brian.
Hi, good morning, Tony. Boy, we have no shortage of information to talk about this morning. A lot of things happening. Export sales out this morning. That is, of course, very strong. 8-week high for corn, 49.7 million bushels. New crop corn at 35. So you combine those together, you're looking at almost 85 million bushels of corn sold last week. Definitely a combination of the lower U.S. dollar and lower values for corn stimulating some demand. Soybeans were decent as well, almost 20 million bushels of old crop with new crop at 9. Wheat sales were good at 20.9 million bushels. We had a private sale this morning of 110,000 metric tons of corn sold to Mexico. Just no shortage of information. And you look at Conab, they were also out this morning a little bit earlier. Now that's a little bit of a wet blanket, so to speak, against the corn market. They're raising their production levels up to about 132 million tons. That would be a new record for corn. Their soybean production number is also a new record. Not a surprise, though, at 169.5 million tons. A lot of production in South America for both corn and soybeans. And it looks like here in the U.S., we're going to produce big crops of corn and soybeans as well.
All right. Again, in front of that report tomorrow, which will give us a little better idea of some of the, if you will, the variables that we're waiting for here in the market. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back in a moment. We'll pick up the conversation on livestock. Market Day Report continues in a moment. So cash cattle already 225 in the south. Pretty light numbers, best I could tell. Isolated sales in the north, 235. Asking prices seem to be a little higher than that. And that's where we start the trade, which opens in about 10 minutes. Okay, let's go to live cattle futures. Yesterday, 15 cents higher on the August at 220 and 220.12. The October at 217.55 was up 72. And from the live cattle over to feeders, and feeders moving higher as well. August up $1.47, 320.60. September 320.35. It was $1.17 higher. And then the hog market, August at 107.52 was 75 higher. You know, just watching these three markets just continue to move higher. Brian Hoobs, Midwest Market Solutions. I just, again, keep wondering, when do we run out of air?
Well, you wonder if the cash or cutouts or anything's going to matter, if it's all going to be about this new closure of the Mexican and U.S. border that has announced being closed last night. Once again, a new screw worm virus has been detected. It's 370 miles south of the border. But the U.S. is taking no chances and shutting the border down once again. It doesn't seem like they have a good handle on this virus as it continues to pop up from time and time again. And I would suggest they keep this border closed for a long period of time until we get it under control. We certainly don't need it here in the United States. It's going to take some time, I think, to eradicate it completely. So we would look for a real positive reaction to the board today on the opening this morning. We've tried to rally the futures market anyway. Saw a lot of Goldman roll spreading yesterday as a main feature. But with this news here, decent exports for beef, I think you're going to see higher prices to start off with the morning hours again this morning.
Okay, and as we kind of wrap things up, want to make sure we talk about this market. All-time high yesterday as it punched through $112,000. Actually, $112,052.24. Let's get technical there, but looking at the Bitcoin futures, we're trading at the 111.4 range. Bitcoin just continues to move higher. Is it, again, not something that we normally tie back over to ag, but is this something to keep an eye on?
A lot of people don't realize you can trade Bitcoin futures in your trading account. So it is something that you can trade if you want to, just like you could trade cattle and hogs. We have clients that have Bitcoin futures and have the actual Bitcoin. They're mining for Bitcoin. It's pretty expensive proposition, but it is something you can trade if you don't want to go through the mining process and buy all the miners and pay the electricity and the bills associated with that. You can buy actual futures on the contracts and try and make some money that way.
Yeah, there you go. Brian Hoops, Midwest Market Solutions. Hey, great to see you. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Brian Hoops again here on Market Day Report.